With your TaxSlayer desktop program, there are many display settings that you can customize to give you and your office the best experience with the program. These settings include the menu size, the color of the program, and which messages will display for you during your normal day-to-day operations. These settings are easily modified and can be changed whenever you need. To get started, access your configuration menu and choose Advanced Configuration. Then select Display Settings. Each of the options in this menu can be customized for your tax office however you need, whenever you need. The first option, the main menu size, will control the size of the initial menu when you log into the program. The options allow you to choose between small, medium, and large. We have defaulted the size to medium because that works best for most monitor sizes. You can also choose to display the client list on the main menu for your preparer accounts. With this feature turned off, the preparer accounts in your tax office will only see the quick menu options when they log in, rather than the client list. If you don't want to show the full Social Security number within the menus of your program, you can choose to mask the socials here. The program will add X's to the first part of the social, only displaying the last 4 numbers. When you first log into your desktop program, the focus for your cursor defaults on the Start New Return box. If you prefer, you can change this to default to the Enter Option box, allowing you to quickly choose the specific menu option instead. The next choice, Ask to Exit Main Menu, will display a confirmation box so you don't accidentally close your program before you're ready. When you're using the quick menu option and you select Enter on your keyboard without having a selection made, it will close the program for you. With the Ask to Exit Main Menu option turned on, the program will have you confirm you meant to close the program before it fully closes for you. The option Clients 1040 refers to your client list in the program. The first option, Start Return Using Client List, determines where you can start a new tax return. By default, the program will allow you to start a new tax return from the client list. You can set this to No if you prefer, and use the Start New Return option from the quick menu instead. The second option, Display Client List when exiting a return, will take you back to the main client list when you close a tax return. The program has this selected Yes by default also. If you prefer, you can opt to hide the client list when you exit a return. Your desktop client list has a ton of information available to you about your tax returns. As you work with the client list, if you find there are specific columns you have no use for, you can remove those columns from the client list. After choosing Select Columns to display on client list, simply uncheck the box next to any option you don't wish to see in the client list. If you ever need to reset the changes you've made, you can select Reset Client List to put everything back to the default options. For your Schedule B menu and depreciation menu inside tax returns, you can modify how the information displays for you. By default, your Schedule B entries will be sorted by name. If you choose No, they'll be sorted in the order they were entered on the tax return. The depreciation items you enter will be defaulted to sort by the date the item was placed into service. You can choose to sort the items in the order they were entered as well if you prefer. While you're working inside tax returns, if you make changes to the federal return when a state return has already been created, the program will remind you to re-enter the state return so the changes made to the federal can apply to the state. This message display can be turned off by setting this to No. However, we highly recommend keeping this turned on. As a quick shortcut, the 10 most recent returns you have added will display under the Files, Previous Returns from your main menu option. This allows you to jump back into a return you were just in without having to search the client list. If you don't prefer to have this feature available, you can turn it off for your office. By default, your desktop program is set to the TaxSlayer Pro Blue. However, you can choose between 6 different colors for your desktop program. Some of our desktop customers like to use a different color for each tax year. For our Spanish tax offices, you can turn on the option to print the tax forms in Spanish while you're printing a return. The last option will direct the program to open the client status page for the current tax return if you choose to open client status while you're inside of a return. This will save you time from having to search for that client if you're already in their tax return. If you prefer to turn this feature off, you can. Each of these display settings allow you to customize your desktop office in a way that is most beneficial to you. If you aren't sure if you'll like a setting, don't worry. You can easily come back into this menu and make additional customizations whenever you need.